Hey y'all, Tony, Pressure Washing Depot, located here in Homestead, Florida. You guys get the privilege of riding around with me today. We're doing some custom builds, so I had to come get some metal. Figure I'd talk with you on the ride if y'all don't mind doing that with me. I get on the social media sites and I hear conversations, and one of the conversations that I heard recently was somebody was asking, it's like, well, I went out to the job and I wasn't the highest bidder. The lady told me that I was the same price as the other person, but she's going to go ahead and go with the other person. Like, what do you guys think on that? Blah, blah, blah. Well, I don't know enough about that conversation, but I do know that a customer looks for value in a company. So what, as a small business owner, are you doing to provide your customers with value? And I'm not saying giving big discounts, because that's a whole different subject. I don't even, before we sold our pressure washing and paper sealing company, I didn't give discounts. I didn't give discounts for first responders, military, anything, because, I'm a firm believer in the rule of 33 for business, where you put 33% of different things in for your marketing, for your advancement in the company, for your employees and all the other stuff. Look up the rule of 33 on business and you'll understand what I mean by that. But our profit margins, we were only making 20 to 30% anyway. So if we were only making 20 to 30%, I give you 25% off, I'm basically doing the job for free. It's not something I wanted to do. So that's a whole different story there. But today, let's talk about value. Like, what are you bringing as far as value to your customer? It's like, and what I mean by that is just, what are you doing differently that other people are not doing? One of the things we did for us, we brought value, was we were actually uniformed and everything we did was clean. So when we were uniformed, when I would show up for a quote, I was in a uniform. When we do the job, I was in a different uniform, same colors, everything was always matching. When you look at my truck was always immaculate or clean. Before I would go out and do my quotes, I'd run through the car wash and wash it. So my truck always shined and looked clean. In this type of industry, everything you do is based on aesthetics. You're taking ugly things and making them look better. So bringing value to that customer is like when something simple, like when you're walking up to do your quote, your initial hello, your initial meeting or interaction with that person or that customer, they're going to judge you off of the way you look first off. So if you're looking professional and you sound professional, where the value you're bringing is, if you're doing a roof wash or a house wash, where you can actually like research, well, what type of algae are these? What does the solution and the chemicals do? Which we'll get into doing all that later on down the line. But what value are you bringing? Are you just going to come out there and pressure wash? Or are you going to tell them how you're going to eliminate the mold, mildew, or algae? Are you going to tell them, I'm not necessarily using bleach, or like, hey, I don't want you using bleach. Well, I don't use bleach. Can you add value to saying, well, we're not using bleach. We're using something different than bleach, which would be sodium hypochlorite solution with a surfactant, blah, 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 and you go on the whole spill. But when you tell them, okay, here's what's going to happen when I do the roof wash. I'm going to spray down the first coat, and then you're going to see me sit down and do absolutely nothing. Because I want that time for that algicide that I'm spraying on your roof. I want that to do what it does. It's got to have time to work. So you're going to see me, once I'm done with the first coat, I'm going to sit down on my butt out there playing on my phone. It's not that I'm goofing off. I just have to allow the algicide to do what it does. Once I'm done with that, we'll spray down the second coat to make sure everything is dead. If that's your system, that was our system, because normally on the first spray, we didn't get everything killed. So I would give it about a half hour, sit down, play on TikTok, play on Facebook, play on Instagram, whatever social media site I wanted to get on, play a video game, whatever, but I will let the customer know that that's the expectation. They're going to look out the window. They're going to see that I'm goofing off, but I'm allowing the time for that chemical to work like it's supposed to. Well, then I'm going to get up there and I'm going to spray the second coat on the roof wash, so I can make sure that everything is dead. And then I'm going to possibly sit down again, or I'll start rolling up my hoses. And once I'm done, here's what we're going to do different than other people. We as a company would neutralize the roof and all the vegetation around there, because when I first got started in this industry, I burned a lot of vegetation. And the one that really sticks out to me was this woman that was 96 years old. had a horrific looking black roof with white shingles, gray shingles, whatever it was. We cleaned the roof, we burned her grass around her whole home. Now this woman's 96 years old. More than likely, by the time it recovers, she might be dead. And you talking about leaving a bad feeling? It's like, this woman's lived 96 years, and the value I brought to her was, I'm incompetent, and I'm an idiot, and I burned your grass, and I can't fix that by the time you probably die. It's like, man, I just felt so horrible. So we started neutralizing, but we set that expectation with that customer when we're first getting to the home to do the quote. You know, we're bringing that value that, hey, instead of doing just a roof wash, here's what we're going to do on the roof wash. As we're doing the roof wash, this is what you can expect. Like, you know, on a hot day, we're using like a 60-40 mix. When I spray down this solution, you'll see it foam and it'll turn back to the original color, you know. And it's like, and once we're done goofing off for a half hour, we're going to come back to it, hit it again, and then we're going to neutralize it. So once we're done, even if we get a small drizzle of rain, it's not going to hurt your vegetation or your plants. You know, so I set myself up to sound like I know what the hell I'm doing. First off, I am the professional. I look professional. I'm clean. I sound professional, and my pricing is where it should be. That's a whole different thing too, on knowing your pricing. What do you charge? Blah blah blah. We'll do a video on that. There's a lot more entailed on that, so we might actually do a live on that where I can get people's interaction and answer questions as they come along. But you know, you want to bring that value to the customer that there's no question, you know, which one is more valuable to the customer. You want to be that professional where when they ask a question, you have the answer, you know. And I'm not talking about getting down to, hey, how does a surfactant work, you know, on a molecular structure? What is the difference in, you know, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I could really get into it if you want me to, on the whole atom, you know, surfactant has an atom, one's hydrophobic, one's hydrophilic, and all the other stuff. I don't want to get into that on this video. But it's just bringing the value that you offer something different than other companies are. And it could be appearance. I mean, it's the whole persona that you set up in your systems. And when you show up, you walk around the house, that person or that customer, there is no second question, no second option. You are the badass that they want to hire, because there's nobody else that made any more sense than you did. That's all I got to say on that matter. So if you guys would share us, like us, tell everybody about us. Go visit our website, pressurewashingdepot.com. You know, if you got custom builds you want us to do, we want to tailor this industry and our business. We want to tailor that around your needs. So what do you need? You know, we will have like trailer builds and custom builds and stuff like that. But if you're looking for something that, hey, I'm wanting a 10-gallon or 2 10-gallon minutes with hot water, cold water, blah, 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 let us know what you want. We can see if we can't fab it up, see if we can't work out your dream business. Like, subscribe, and share if you could. Thank you guys. I appreciate you.